All right, I'm back. This is Satisfactory. In the last episode, we were able to get the train station up and running. You can see it is up and running. In this episode, I had a couple of ideas on how to make this a little bit more efficient. Um, One of those is making sure that we're utilizing the top input of all of these storage containers. So I'm going to add some more splitters to this and add some more output to the train station. Then we also need to make it over to the quartz farm, which is over here somewhere. I don't have it marked currently. Um, so we're going to need to bring the train out that way. So that'll be on our list of things to do. And finally, this isn't something that I think we're going to do in this episode, but I had the idea that if I wanted to have the train delivering items, I could do that pretty easily by setting up a second train station and having the items get inputted into a second freight platform and having the freight platform unload from here. There's a few issues that I'm running into just thinking about it, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later. For now, let's just start by setting up these inputs. Actually, just basically while I was watching the footage back to edit the last episode, I realized, hey, I've got 2 extra outputs and 2 extra inputs to the storage containers, and I'm not utilizing them. So it would probably be a good idea if I did that. It's been a few days since I've played. Use my inability to remember to remember where anything is. We set it up here. Oh, like it a little bit more in line. Like right here. Okay. Or this might be a little too wide again. Not looked right. Alright, and then we just come down here. Right here is where it's gonna need another one. Probably could have gone a little further, but it's okay. Yeah, of course it's not wanting to connect. I need to put these splitters in first. Let me take care of that. This is gonna take a little bit, so let me meet you back here once I finish that. Alright, I went ahead, set up all of the smart splitters, got all of them set up to what they're supposed to be taking in, connected everything. And here at the end, I just went ahead and put a merger down at the bottom, so now they both go to the thing here at the end. So if either of them have any overflow, they should be able to sync them. But this will offload all of our stuff a little bit faster, twice as fast if we want to get technical. I am still worried about this front cargo getting overloaded. You can kind of see like it's already happening a bit. So I'm trying to think if there's a way to resolve the inputs kind of getting backed up. My first idea was to try putting a lower tier belt like as I go back. So if I go to tier 3, then tier 2, then tier 1. Then this would be tier 1. This would be tier 2. And this would be tier 3. I thought maybe this would help slow the backup down a bit. The train's gonna be overstocked in the front. Yeah, you can see it's not fully unloaded. Best to avoid that. So I'm gonna have to find a way to resolve that. It might just be running, well, running another train's not really gonna fix the problem. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to resolve that. It might be having to go back and change how the outputs are placed. But the thing is the front output's always gonna unload the most, since it is essentially going 1 for 2. So every one thing that comes, or every 2 things that come out of this one should be matching the one that's coming out of here. Essentially, I don't think I explained that correctly, but essentially this is always putting one thing onto this belt, whereas this one's always putting one, but this has 3 belts behind it, so it's taking longer for these ones to back up. For example, this one, because it can't offload as much stuff since it has to wait for everything else on the conveyor belt to connect. So yeah, I don't really know how to resolve that exactly. It might just be a thing that we have to find a workaround for. If you have an idea, let me know. Definitely willing to kind of try anything that I can figure out. But for now, this is how the train station's gonna unload. If I can figure out a better way to unload it, I will. So let's go. I'm trying to decide between going to the Quartz farm and sending a train that way, and alternatively, so my other thought was getting the iron set up correctly. So you notice we're backed up on cables. I have 2 full storage containers. I wouldn't mind having another storage container full. As a matter of fact, might as well make one. From what I remember about the late game, cables are just so hard to come by. Or rather, they're so important to the late game. However, as I've said before, like, the whole plan with this is to tear everything down. Everything's gonna get torn down and put in, well, aside from this, essentially this part of it, I'm probably gonna leave this up, I think. But it still needs to get expanded on, because you can see the ingots are still backed up. I think most of these smelters have 100 ingots in them already, because we're just not going through enough of them. So, you know, I need to expand this a bit more, but I don't really know what to expand it with, to be honest. There's just not that much that I need to make in addition to what I'm already making. Obviously, things like screws are always good to have, but you can see I'm already kind of backed up on screws. You know, the rods I'm doing fine on. I can probably unclock this if I want to, but I'd rather keep it, because I think when I unclocked it, it fell behind. Iron plates we're doing fine on. So yeah, like, there's not really anything aside from just making more assemblers with things, but with the way that I set so that's what I'm getting at, is the way I set this up. I didn't really make space for everything, which is why I said like it needs to kind of get torn down. So I'm kind of just at an impasse because tearing this down is going to take a lot of time. A lot more time than I'd like to really commit to at the moment. So I want to find some other things to do because I want to figure out the train delivery platform. It needs to come over here as well and pick up more things. It's just that like there's so much stuff that needs to get picked up over here, and basically, you know, it's gonna be a part of that big teardown. So yeah, there's so much that I need to figure out how I'm going to fix. It's a little bit overwhelming how much work really needs to be done over here. I'm trying to find some other things to do. Guess we'll take this. You know, alternatively, one of the things that I do need to get done is this. The rest of these, ma'am. I should have researched this first, but the rest of these ma'am options. So maybe that's kind of on the docket for today. I think we gotta go set up the train to go pick up from the Quartz farm though. So I'm gonna run over there really quick. Well, I'm gonna set the train tracks up, run over there and get that set up, and I'll meet you over there. All right, we're here at the Quartz farm. I'm gonna go ahead and build out a train station. So I think I'll have the train come down this way, loop back around, and then go back to the tracks. Hopefully I can make that work, but I guess we're gonna find out here in a second. All right, so the idea is that train will load in on this side right here. And I'll just be able to wrap it back on the same track that I brought it down on, and it can continue going down to the next area, hopefully. So the track will go about here. Then I think we're just gonna put 2 freight cars on this one, just because it's not a ton of stuff getting put in. I'm a bit worried about this tree being in the way though. I think it'll be okay as long as I only do 2 freight platforms. I think it'll be okay. So train station. Can I put the freight platforms down first or no? No. This is always the hard part because I'm building it sort of backwards. I don't know that this is gonna fit perfectly. All right, here. Only enough room for 1 platform. Maybe I can sneak this one in if I change how the railway is set up. I think it's gonna lead to like a really strange bend, but maybe not. Yeah. I guess how can I resolve that? I mean, I can just do 1 freight platform, I guess. It's not that big of a deal. If I go any further, I'm not going to have space for the train to pull out because of this tree. Perhaps the tree doesn't need to stay here, if at all possible. I don't think this is gonna work, but I figure I might as well try, right? Yeah, I think so. I'm not gonna have enough juice to get up. Well, if I move platform back so that it's here, I guess means I have to move the train station as well. Maybe right there, right? Backwards. Close now. This is gonna take me a second. One thing I don't know is if this is like, so I don't know if this is connected now. That's kind of what I'm worried about. And I can't delete this and attach it again, so it has too sharp of a turn. So we're just gonna hope that this works, and we're gonna set up the delivery system up here. My only issue is that this is going to deliver to the front car, and the front car is already pretty overloaded. So I wonder... Alright, I'm going to redo this. Give me 1 second. Okay. We'll put a couple of empty platforms down. I guess my plan was to have 3 empty platforms and then a freight platform, but I don't think I made enough space, so put it like this instead. Just tell me I'm not gonna have an issue with this again. Of course I am. Okay. It ain't the prettiest, but it works. So now it'll get loaded into the 3rd car rather than the first one, which is good enough for me. I would have preferred the 4th car because I know the 4th car is not going to be super overloaded, but now we just need to set up the delivery platform. This one I don't even need a splitter for. I can just hook it straight in. We're gonna come down here. We'll get rid of these. Some lifts on it. there. We'll fly back over here. Set up some foundation to get back to it. I always find it funny that I spend a little extra time making sure that they're even with each other, and then they still aren't even with each other. Okay. Put a merger down, maybe just here. Belt here. Belt here. Okay, run it down this way. I'm a little short on stuff for Mark IV belt, so we'll just have to make it a Mark III belt from here. That is fine. What I can do, put the splitter on this part of the belt. Should still be running smoothly. So the only place that's kind of hiccuping is back here, which is fine. I find it odd when I built the copper station, I think it was, the train station wouldn't actually load any of the items until I hooked it up to power. But now, even though I don't have power, it's doing it just fine. I don't think I make it back up. By the way, if you have any ideas or names for the train stations, please let me know, because I will be renaming them eventually. I don't want to just name them, you know, Train Station 1, Train Station 2, or, you know, Copper Station, or whatever. Like, I want to have some interesting names. Or if you want to name one of the trains, definitely let me know. And I will start adding some names to the trains and stuff. So it's not Train Station Sorhetsenborg. As much as I love that name. Okay, now I just need to find a point on this part of the track that I can reconnect it to. Right here looks like right here maybe. Hopefully I did this correctly. Looks like I didn't. I need it to be one foundation over, I think. That should let me connect them. I stop it here. I went one too far back. If I stop it here, it's interesting. Maybe I need to go one more over. If this doesn't work, I don't know. Not sure how I can fix this. Maybe it needs to come one pile further. I don't think so. I think that's still going to be too sharp. Yeah. Maybe if I try to connect it from a little farther away. This is going to take some trial and error, it seems. If I start it from over here. I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place, honestly. There we go. Okay. Set it to make sure it goes this way. Then all I have to do is have this train from here to here, and then it can continue on its way. Let's make sure this is set to load, and we should be good to go. We'll keep an eye on it, make sure that it makes it down here and don't have any issues. Okay, I forgot to save the changes when I backed out, and the train went by, so I went back and saved the changes, and now the train's gonna do a full loop around the map and then come to the station. So I'm just gonna let it do that. While it does, I wanted to kind of explain what I was saying earlier about having the train start delivering items on the same railway. So I wanted to give an example. So currently the trucks are picking up coal. One of the trucks is picking up coal and driving it back to the area that we first started at. Then it drops off the coal, puts it in, the little box, and then it feeds my steel production, my steel ingot production. My issue with this is that, one, the trucks take a really long time to go back and forth, which means that sometimes the coal is running out. I'm not staying stocked up on it enough. That is partly because I'm not producing enough coal mixed with all of the coal generators that I have, but that's an issue that I will kind of fix a little bit later. My idea is that the train will use this track, use the same track, and pick up the coal from here, pick up the iron from where I'm making iron at, and then take it to a separate location where it's going to be producing steel. Then the steel will get produced into the beams and the pipes. Then the train will pick up those beams and pipes and take them where they need to go. Is it a little bit convoluted? Yes. Is it, it's a little bit overkill, I'm not going to lie. But it's going to clean up all of the issues that I'm having where things are just kind of getting oversaturated in certain areas, because the overstock of everything will get put into the overstock area, and it won't become like flooded with kind of how it is now, where I have this issue with all the wire and the cables and everything kind of getting backed up. It'll go straight over there. If it gets too backed up, if I have way more than I need, it goes straight into a sink. So I definitely understand like having 5 or 6 trains all running different areas on the same track is going to be a little bit obnoxious, but in my mind, it's the easiest way to resolve the issues that I'm facing from this specifically, this kind of factory setup that I have. That being said, I think we need to end the episode here, and in the next episode I'm going to tear this down. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a lot of work. Everything except for this part of the factory I think is going to get torn down. I'm going to leave the smelters and the constructors up still making stuff, but everything beyond that is going to get torn down. I may need to make the train come this way first so that things that are getting produced are still getting produced. Scratch that. Actually, what we're going to do in the next episode is I don't know what we're gonna do. The train's broken though, so let's go fix the train and then we'll end the episode. All right, Mr. Train, what is wrong? Next stop is unreachable. I'm guessing that is because I don't have the path doesn't actually branch back up here. Let's see if we can fix that. We'll go back here. Where is it? Right here. Why is it going like straight like that? Three. Out of concrete. See if I can just make this work. I can fill in the foundation later. Hmm. Let me go grab some concrete 1 second. Okay. It ain't perfect, but it works. Train should be able to make it down here now. We have the arrows facing the correct direction. Perfect. Alright, with that, we're bringing an end to the episode. Thank you so much for watching. It's very much appreciated. I'm praying that there are no audio issues in this one, because if there aren't, I'll be able to record a little bit farther ahead again. And hopefully hit phase 4 soon. So, again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.